Bandmaid's Konami not only is possibly getting her own custom PRS, which I think is very likely. She just recently got a new amp head. She says, I've been looking for an Uberschall, which we got right here. This is an Uberschall amp. She just recently got this Uberschall. She got a message from the record company saying they had it, so I went and bought it. I'm looking forward to using it in my next recording session. I'll continue to use the Pandora below for serving. I'm so happy. I'm assuming for serving, that means she's going to use it live. Like that's going to be her main live amp. I didn't realize how big Bogner was. I remember having one when I was younger, but I didn't like it. I thought it was like a cheap amp, to be honest, but I probably had like one of those really basic models. I can't remember how I ended up getting this amp head, but I've had one before. I had it when I was first starting playing guitar. I didn't like it though. I remember attaching a bunch of those cheap distortion pedals to it from Digitech. If for those that play guitar, you remember those grunge pedals and the death metal pedal? I used to use those pedals hooked up to a Bogner, but the sound was absolutely horrible. These look like high-end ones, though. These look like top-of-the-line Bogner amp heads. And they are, because I went and looked into this because I was very curious about this. I found one here in the States, actually, for $2,375. It's dropped $825. It's still available. It's actually pretty enticing. I'm like, oh, I kind of want to get it just to test it out. Just test it out. I want to see what the sound is, just to get close to that Konami sound or whatnot. Oh, by the way, not sponsored by Reverb here, but like this listing is from the original owner. This amp has never left the room. It is in now. Which a lot of people do that with these expensive amp heads. They'll like never take it out. They'll just keep it in a room. But that's cool. You can get a mint condition one for under $3,000, which is now that Pandora one that she has. That one's pretty expensive. I think this is the correct one that she's using. So Bogner Pandora XTC Ecstasy 101 carbon fiber. It's a $4,000 amp. This was pretty much. It was made by this guy named Reinhold. He comes from Germany, started this company in LA. And it was like an answer to Friedman's BE 100 Deluxe. It's fully loaded with every switch option, voice structure, and boost brightness. As you can see, it has so many knobs on this amp head. And I'm pretty sure it's the exact same one. Yeah, it is. It is. So to me, it sounds like she's going to keep using this as her main performing amp. I'm assuming that's what serving means. Can't wait to hear how the new songs sound on the album using this Bogner amp head. Are we going to get more of a bigger sound? Because this is a loud head. It gets really loud. Checking out some videos of the actual performance of this thing, and it has a good sound. But I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. And then My First Story and HYDE release a new song called Mugen. This is the opening theme song for the highly anticipated Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Hashira Training Arc. I hope I said that right. But yes, My First Story teaming up with HYDE. Guys, this song, at first, I was like, all right, this is a pretty good song. Not bad. I really like how it sounds, very chill. And then the end just takes a turn. Like at the last 30 seconds. Just check it out. Check it out. You see what I mean? Give it a full listen. Don't give up on the first minute. Because in the first minute, I'm like, okay, it's pretty good. It's not too bad. It's an average song. Not an average song. You know what I mean? It was just a good song. It was just very solid. And then, of course, how Japanese music goes. They throw a curveball at you. And then they start adding some really good layers, though, throughout the mix. So I think it's actually a really good song. Now that I think about it, I've only heard it one time. I'm going to listen to it again. I really liked it overall. Check it out. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of the song, if it's your style, if you're into it. Also, I want to do some clarification on our podcast that we did Sunday at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Make sure you join us on those Wednesday and Sunday podcasts that we do every week, where we talk about Japanese music news and other music-related things. Also, we'll be posting these updates throughout the week, so make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. But I wanted to follow up on the Nemophila disturbing messages portion of this podcast, because we got some really good comments down below that I wanted to read that kind of clarify the whole situation that happened with Nemophila. But to summarize what happened, there's a bunch of X posts about people not being appropriate with Nemophila. We're not really sure the extent of it. It says social media, something about line cutting. There's a bunch of things being thrown out there. So Metal Incarnate gives us a better clarification on what's going on with this whole Nemophila and line cutting thing. So Nemophila tickets in Japan go by number lottery system for venue entry. You have ticket number 1, you are first to go in. The Nemophila stuff is about fans with the lowest numbers being at the front barrier, reserving spots at the barrier for their buddies who are at the back of the line because they have a high ticket number from the lottery. It's been the same group of guys doing this at every Nemophila show in Japan, and it's always the same guys at the barrier. Some fans that have low ticket numbers who should get the barrier aren't getting barrier because of the group of guys who hold spots for their friends. And then he goes on to give an example of this where he talks about how a friend will have a number 4 ticket and pretty much will hold it for his friends that are in the hundreds. So that's very unfortunate, but from the post that I read, it's not just this, though. It feels like there's more to this because they do mention social media over on X. They may be talking about more than just the queues before the show, but that there were people lining up at the front of the stage and reserving spots there for their friends who arrived later, and those people were refusing to let people get up. So it seems like it wasn't necessarily about line cutting. It's more about the lottery system in Japan and how people are just holding it hostage pretty much. So I appreciate the correction from you guys in the community. Thank you so much. Good job to the people in the US that do that number system properly. And there hasn't been any issues with like bandmaid concerts, Nemophila concerts, or baby metal concerts too. I think I haven't seen it at Hanabi concerts. It gives me hope for the U.S. a little bit, that we actually keep it together when it comes to supporting these Japanese bands. And I hope it continues to stay like that and we don't get any bad actors in the future. So shout out to you fans out there for keeping it classy. So something outside of Japanese music news, I want to talk about this whole Dave Grohl calls out Taylor Swift during the Foo Fighters show. Rockfeet put up this video. I thought it was fascinating. I had to check it out. So shout out to Rockfeet. Check out the original video over on his channel. But pretty much Dave Grohl says, hey, Taylor Swift, you're lip syncing your shows. More or less, or like kind of does a subtle dig at her. It also mentions how like you shouldn't piss off Taylor Swift fans. So who knows how much crap he's going to get now for this. I'd be curious to know.
Now, the Foo Fighters, again, they're known for their amazing live shows, and they play 100% live. Grohl took a subtle dig at Swift, seemingly implying that she doesn't always sing 100% live, and there have been questions about that, with some fans wondering, with these long 3-hour sets that are also heavily involved with choreography, whether or not the show was 100% live.
Now, yeah, she does a lot of dancing while singing. I could totally see her probably lip syncing at certain points because, for one, doing a 3-hour set, 3-hour set doing vocals nonstop is very difficult. Very, very difficult. Even for something as like what I do on the side in a cover band, our singer literally lost his voice on the last set that we did. We did 35 songs. We take 15-minute breaks in between, but that's still sometimes not enough for your voice to recover, especially if you're doing high intensity songs with your vocals. So I could see them doing some backing tracks to like help out in that situation. She does do a lot of choreography, dancing and stuff. All I'm going to say is, trust me, try dancing and singing. Hell, try moving and singing in general. It is pretty difficult. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did have some backing tracks just to keep up the quality of the production, to keep it, at a high level. As far as Foo Fighters, I've never been to a Foo Fighters concert or a Taylor Swift concert, but let me know down below in the comments if you've been to any of their shows before and how they are. I have heard that Foo Fighters concerts are tremendous. They're amazing, and the live performances are really good. I'd love to check it out, and it's cool that they do keep it all raw tracks, but from what I've heard, he holds up the entire set, which is really impressive. Any band that can hold up a 3-hour set singing it blows my mind because it's very strenuous on the voice. Again, let me know down in the comments what you think about this. Guys, if you want more music news updates like this, consider subscribing, hitting the bell for notifications. Leave me a comment down below if you do enjoy this kind of content. I would love to keep doing it. It's really fun for me to do for you all. So see you guys in the next one. See you.